Salutations, my fellow dudes and dudettes, and welcome back to Tales of Phantasia. Last time, we've gained control of the the airbirds, that's a litter game. And we decided to explore a bit of what the future had in store for us. Today, we're going to continue just that, because there is still a lot to explore. Our first destination in question today is actually the Forest of the Unicorn, or it was the Forest of the Unicorn to, sacrifice itself. But the only reason you really want to come here is for the medicinal herbs. We're going to be using those for a little something later on. So grab as many as you can. I'm only really showing off like one or two, because there's really no other reason to be here besides those medicinal herbs. There's nothing else here, so we're actually going to move on to our next destination, which I believe is going to be, yes, the Cave of Spirits. If you remember, this was the dungeon for the Earth Spirit Gnome. There's actually something here we can obtain now. Also, there are new enemies in here, so you're going to want to watch out. Be a little prepared for it. The item in question is going to be right in the area where we found Gnome. For starters, we got a new enemy. We got Corona. Is it not a beer? Well, it's Corona, but anyways, Coronas are just like the Charons. It's not that they particularly heal with a lot of magic, but they don't take any damage from a lot of magic. They're just resistant to it. It's not like it recovers them. But they do have access to this one really obnoxious attack. Their preferred elemental spell to trigger are lightning-based elements. And don't worry, they don't use, distortion, but they use this attack right here that you're about to see in a moment called Thunderbolts, which basically acts as a multi-Poseidon bolt. So, essentially, everyone gets zapped by this darn thing. It doesn't deal that much damage, but it can hit up to 4 times. It can be a little bit annoying. Especially if it hits every one of your characters each, because it disrupts whatever action you're taking, obviously. That's assuming you take damage. If you have the right equipment equipped, you should be just fine. As for our next set of enemies, but real quick, distortion actually worked! Holy crap! Yeah, this is distortion. It takes an enemy and sort of flip-flops it into a 2D, into in a 2D perspective, that probably didn't make sense. But it flips it around in some sort of vacuum space, and they just deteriorate or something. But anyways, the enemies who are fighting the frog mosses, they're not much different from the toads we fought previously, and the fiends are no different from the Dolomen, as well as the bone bows, although I don't think they're as resilient. Which, thank goodness, because they were very annoying. Anyway, all you really want to do is get to the end where you had to set the alarm off and go through that door to acquire this ring. That's all there is to it. There is one new enemy, though. It is the Doom Gaze. Now, I don't know what the heck this thing is or why it's here, but alright, for one, it's like the Chimeras, the Basilisk, all that jazz. Except it's got a new toy to play with. It's called, I think, Death Gaze. And it essentially puts your, it's like the worst badly poisoned status in Pokemon. It essentially poisons you, simply, but your health drops a lot more than it should. Not to mention, this guy hurts like a truck, and it takes a lot of punishment. I barely survived this little fight. It's not even a boss fight, it's one of the most threatening enemies I've faced so far. Damn it. If it wasn't for, me being able to, attack so quickly, I would have been a goner. As you can see, I just got the badly poisoned. You want to get rid of that immediately, otherwise your character will die very quickly within the upcoming battles. Also, we got Focus More. Focus More is just focus, just more efficient. Like, it increases your attack further as well as your speed. But now that horror is over with that dude gaze, we got the Emerald Ring, which is a contract ring. We're going to be using that later. Our next stop is going to be Undini's Cavern, or I believe the Glacier Cavern is what it's actually called. We have another ring to obtain here, as well as a spell that wasn't here in the past, so that's something to keep in mind. Also, we've got 2 new enemies here. They're nothing really to write home about, at least one of them is. The other one is a bit more threatening. And we're about to actually get into the more threatening one. This is the Kraken. It's essentially the darn... whatever the hell. I forgot what it... I forgot what it was called. It's like... well, for one, the distortion sort of took it out, so you didn't really have time to see what it does. But the Krakens are just like the Calamaris from earlier. And they can poison you. Not to mention, they attack pretty relentlessly. And we've got the squids here who are sort of the middle road. They're not as bad as the Krakens, but they are more threatening than the Calamaris. You won't know that because I took them out in one shot. But anyway, the spell in question is Ice Wall. The Ice Wall is right where is in the same room where we fought Undine. Also, this little contract ring, I believe, the Sapphire Ring. In order to get to the Sapphire Ring, you have to make sure the pool on the right side is empty. I'm referring to the pool inside the room that's just outside of where you would face Undine. You should know how those works from me doing the dungeon previously. Activate the switches to drain the water or flood the water elsewhere. Just go into that right pool and you'll find your Sapphire Ring. Now our next destination is Dematel's castle of all things. This took me for a surprise. It was like, I didn't think we'd go here ever again, but there is one spell here that we have to get. It's not I don't believe, it's not a contract ring, but it is a spell. Also, a few new enemies. Liches are just like corpses, but just like them, they're bitches. Yes, I intentionally rhymed there. Don't judge me. Yeah, they're not much different. I think they could shoot a projectile at you, but I could not tell for the life of me. I'm not sure if their attack range is a little bit wider, so they can attack you from a bit further, but I didn't really know. I wasn't sure if I was being attacked by a projectile or they were just attacking with really long arms. Next we got the Spectre, which is essentially the same thing as the enemies we fought previously, although it's kind of fast. That's probably why Mint slowed it down a bit, because the Spectre actually moves around the battlefield pretty quickly. But otherwise, it's not much of a threat. It's all the spells we've acquired at this point, as well as the summon spirits, make quick work of these enemies. Also, the fiends make a return for some reason. I want to recommend using Magma Rift like I'm trying to here, because since they shoot so rapidly, they don't do as much damage as the bone bows, or at the very least, like, I've leveled up to the point where this enemy doesn't want to, like, do anything. Also, we finally mastered the Magma Rift, which means we now have access to every combo tech we have at this point in the game, which is fantastic. Also, this is the spell we came for, the Death Cloud. It's just like Distortion, but I think it works a bit more often. You won't know that by trying it, because it's essentially just as useless. So right here I'm showing off all the combo techs. Poseidon Kick, Mecha Blade, Poseidon Storm, Magma Bolt, Lion Lunge, Lion Flare, Bolt Crash, Tempest, Earth's Rage, Flare Talon, Odin's Wrath, Burning Soul, and Cinderhawk. We now can use any of these combo attacks that are at any point in time without consequence. Unless you're close to an enemy, then you can't use them because they're only long-range attacks. Anyway, it is time to return to Thor. You wouldn't think to come here, but if you recall that one woman in Alvanista, she mentioned that the summoned spirit Asuka was imprisoned here. So I think it's about time we've given this place another visit, see if we can find this Asuka and release them from their prison. Where are we? Also, interesting note, we weren't able to access this building in the first visit of Thor. I'm not sure what caused the door to open this time around, but hey, well, check it out. And hot damn, what a utopia! It's an incredible building. I've never seen anything like it. It seems to be daytime all the time, even though it's dark. Is this place for real? Incredible. Alright, that's pretty interesting. Like, wow, that's pretty awesome. Whoa. Wait, what? What's going on? Beginning holographic transmission. Oh, we got a hologram. What is that thing? It's like it's right there, but it's not. It's just an illusion. How odd. It's kind of spooky. I read about this in a book once. The ancient culture of Thor used electricity to power almost everything in the city. This is called a television. Please choose a channel. Now, the first 3 channels are jokes. For one, we got Fox. New Super Famicom game. Tales of Phantasia on sale now. We get CBS. Okay. I'm not reading this out because I'm not a fan of reading audio pornos or. Cause I don't know if that's what's going on here, but I don't know. CBS doesn't have like some graphic shit. I never liked CBS. It was boring. Welcome back, folks. Johnny Arena here, bringing you all the hard-hitting action. It's the bottom of the 9th with 2 men on, 2 outs, and a full count. Not sure if McGuire can make it through this. Alright, now, again, the 3 are jokes, but the number 4 is the one you want to tap into. CNN. Good evening, and welcome to the evening news. I'm Hal Friedman. Here's Brian Sperry with our story tonight. Brian. Around 2 o'clock this afternoon, the countries of Odin and Fenrir officially signed a declaration of war against each other, while Emperor Leon of Fenrir and President Hughes of Odin signed a peace accord entailing a cease. Fire less than 3 days ago, both have now been condemned as void. Thor's Prime Minister Alexander had this to say. I'd really hoped that these 2 countries could find a peaceful solution to their differences. Seeing as that is no longer possible, I will work towards eliminating the use of nuclear and biological weapons in this war. Hopefully, both Fenrir and Odin will listen to the Prime Minister's advice. Back to you, Hal. In other news, NASA reports that tonight will be the best night to view Comet Omega C4, as it will be passing directly over Thor this evening. The facility denies any report of the comet being on a collision course with our planet. Now, they say that, but if you all recall, from being told by, I believe it was, I don't remember the guy's name now. Whoops. Harrison, I think it was. He told us that apparently a meteor crashed into Thor. And these people suspected that, no, we'll be fine. The meteor's just passing by. Boy, were they in for a rude awakening. Alright, now the other thing that's of interest is Asuka herself, or himself. And I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. You'll know why I don't. You'll know why I'm unsure of that very soon. Basically, you want to go through this stupid dungeon again. We do have one new enemy, sort of. I say sort of is because the boss of this area, which I believe is like 35R, is now a random encounter. It's just a regular enemy here. That doesn't make it that less annoying because of all the missiles that keep shooting at you. But if you recall, the puzzle is exactly the same. You want to be able to get to that processing room via the skeleton key, which we found our key. Gonna fight this guy. Why did I leave this in? Oh, I guess to demonstrate how quickly they die? I forgot to edit that out. Whatever. Anyway, use a skeleton key. Let's see. What's behind door number 1? And first try, I got to the room. Awesome. I was very happy when I saw it. I was like, yes, first try. Main system operation. Biome systems diagnostic running. Welcome to central processing. I am Oz, the mother computer. Select program to run. If you did not talk to the lady in Alvanista, that third option will not appear. You have to talk to her for this option to appear. Data loaded. Asuka, file RS232C. The atmosphere filters out most of the UV rays generated by the sun. The scientists of Thor were researching a way to harness this energy in a safe way. The people of Thor captured Asuka, the magical spirit of light, in order to examine her light-producing capabilities. Asuka was studied for a period of 2 years with poor results. Then Asuka is still in prison? Oz, can you set Asuka free? Confirming ID. Opening cell 401D. Or is it 81? Oh, whatever. Just like that, Asuka was freed, and it's a bird. The spirit of light. Asuka, I can't thank you enough for setting me free. Asuka, this world is in great danger, and I need your help to save it. Agreed. We'll forge a contract through your topaz ring. Spirits of magic, I beseech you, grant me the power of light. My name is Clarth. And just like that, we've acquired the power of light. You figured Luna would be that, but no, she's the summoned spirit of the moon, which I guess is essentially the same thing. Simply put, they're both spirits of light. It's just that one has the title of light and the other one has the title of the moon. But they do have the same elemental damage. Moon is not an element. Unless we're talking Sykes from Kingdom Hearts, and I guess it might be considered an element. Anyways, off topic. There's really nothing else to do here. You do want to heal, in case it took you forever to get here, because, yeah. All you gotta do is get back to outside of Thor. Easy, right? That took me 12 minutes! It took me around maybe two minutes to get in, to go through that dungeon, or even like a minute. A minute or 2 minutes to get through there and find Asuka. It took me 12 minutes just to leave. That was tiring. I hope your luck is better than mine. But anyways, now that we did all that, I feel like we should stop here because we've explored a lot. So, next time on Tales of Phantasia, we're going to be finishing up our little journey of the future world and finally making our way to Freeze Kill. So until then, I gotta juice.